Guess what we have on Thursday.
Um,
It
lizards,
starts with a D.
dogs.
D. Yeah, Dog Thursday, exactly.
Awesome.
People bring their dogs. I'm
I'm
glad
here
you find it.
for
Most people find me annoying with this, but it's like he's been carrying on with this for like 7 years. What the fuck is the matter with him? I know. I know. I had a lot of brain damage from drinking. Hey, Chris, how are you? Where are you calling from? How long have you been sober?
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm calling from New York City, and I've been sober 290 days.
New York City. Are you actually in Manhattan itself or what?
I am currently going down West Side Highway as we speak. Yes,
No,
Manhattan.
you are not. Okay. Well, welcome aboard. I've been on West Side Highway. Where do we go here? Brian. Hey, Brian, you want to talk to me? Where are you calling from? How long are you sober? Jan to Brian. Are you here for AA? And or what's your deal? So we've already had Zoom bombers in here today. I'm in no mood to fuck around with them again. Stacy, how are you? Good to see you. Joe. And hey, how's it going, Joe?
It's
You're in
going okay.
Boston. How many days sober are you now?
48.
Good, 48 days. Jess, and hey, Jess, how are you? Where are you calling from, Jess? How long have you been sober?
Hi, I'm calling from Ontario in Canada. I have 4 days.
4 days in Ontario. Is it cold in Ontario?
Freezing, lots of snow.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't have any snow here in Boulder. The rest of the country is snowed in, and here it's like, I don't. David, hey, David, how are you? Are you here? Where did David go? I just had him. Oh, David, there you are. Hi.
Yep.
Are you here for AA?
I'm
Yeah.
here. 5 days.
And where are you calling from?
Naples, Florida.
Naples. How about that? It's not snowing there. Uh, iPhone 3. They have the iPhone 12
Yes.
out there.
This is Joe, Western Colorado, 2.5 years.
Hey, so what's the story with your names on? Like every time you come in, you always have a different name. How is
You know what? Sometimes I can change it. I just came on. Let me see if I can change it. Some days I can change it. Some days I can't.
Yeah. Uh, anyways, glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
Good of you to show up. Pete. Hey, Pete, how are you? And you're in Maryland. How long are you sober, Pete? Jan to Pete. If you could unmute and talk to me, please. How's it going? Can't hear you though, Pete. Or you can text me if your thing is dead. If you all right, Jan to Pete. Nope, his isn't working. Okay, James. What's going on here with this guy, James? James is Orange County, California, 11 days. Matt, anybody find James? Steve, hi, how are you? Hey, Steve, are you here for AA? Where are you calling from?
Too bad.
How long are you sober?
Calling from Ohio.
Oh, good. And
6 months this next week.
6 months in Ohio. Well, glad you're here. Think we got everybody. Ruby. All right. So if you'd put everything up in chat, Sam and Matt, let's see here. I'll give it a whirl here. I'm gonna turn everybody's video on. And so over to you, Matt. We'll let you introduce the meeting to everybody.
Hey, Matt Alcoholic, welcome to Newcomers Slippers Step Workshop. If you're new to AA or coming back, this meeting is for you. This group is exactly what the name says, a workshop. We read 5 AA books, work the steps, sponsor you, give writing and reading assignments. We'll teach you an AA program. We move right along here and people get well here. Newcomers Slippers Step Workshop is a step workshop. Unlike most AA meetings, it's not a speaker's meeting nor a discussion meeting. It's more like a class. AA class, AA 101. You want to have the attitude of learning, do the assigned writing and reading on the steps. We'll take you through the steps and AA books in short order. So if you're looking for guidance and direction in an AA program, this meeting is for you. Security for Newcomer Slippers Step Workshop. We use the waiting room. When you come in, we ask your first name, last initial, country or city, and how long you've been sober. We have chat turned off. You can chat with the host or co-host. Unmute is turned off. Cameras and pictures are turned off at the beginning of each meeting. We turn them on later. We don't exchange phone numbers. You can get the number of the host for text and support. Here is our email for meeting confirmation. stepworkshop1@gmail.com. This is good for school, class, work, probation, court orders, etc. And there's a link to the meeting in chat. We do all the above for safety reasons since everyone is new here and we want to protect you. Zoom bombers try to get in and the above eliminates them. You'll notice this is a step workshop, not a speakers or discussion meeting. It's like a class, AA 101, AA University. It's a very unique meeting since we use the same principles AA used between 1932 and 1939. Everybody works in the group, moves through the 12 steps to live our lives free from alcohol and learn a new way of living. Glad you could make it. Announcements. AA in this meeting is supported by our own contributions to 7 Traditions. You can make donations to @Jann-Scott in Venmo. Contributions go to pay for Zoom, and we make monthly donations to Boulder 1 AA and Boulder County AA. Spend about $250 a month. This group meets daily with the following formats. Monday's step meeting, 12 and 12, Meme Monday. Tuesday, Big Book, T-shirt Tuesday, AA inspired as preferred. Wednesday, as Bill sees it, Sunglass Wednesday. Thursday, Came to Believe, Dog Thursday. Friday's open, the chair picks the topic, and it's Cat Friday. Saturday, Living Sober, Virtual Background Day, and Sunday, Daily Reflections, Fashion Sunday. Please join me in the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. AA Preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of people who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We're self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not aligned with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. There's a link to the newcomers packet in chat. And for newcomers, please come to our meeting for 5 days and see how you like it, and then we'll put you to work. Please introduce yourself as an alcoholic when speaking. That back to you, Jann, in the studio.
All right, thanks, Matt in Lake Placid. So today is today is
12 and 12.
yeah, it is. I'm reading a note from Lisa. Sky. Oh, well, so Lisa, what you do is if you're uncertain about somebody, what you do is you go down here to the host tools, and before you let them in, you turn the video off. So do that right now. Click on start video and turn it off. And then did you let him in? So you see how that works. So that's for everybody who's a co-host. So if we're uncertain about somebody, we think they're a Zoom bomber, you still have to do it. Can you not do it, Lisa? Will it not allow you to do it or what? Talk to me.
Yeah, I've admitted already.
But still, did you turn the video off?
The video is,
Do it.
it's just, it must be off because it's saying my option is ask to start video.
Oh, let's see. Well, okay. So what do you see, Matt, when you go to the host tools? Do you see video on or off?
I
Talk to
see
me.
I see start video clicked.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, click it and turn it off.
Yeah, now it says it's off.
Okay, there you go. So you understand how to do that, Lisa? You have to click it and turn it off. And
Okay.
then
The
when you
check
have
marks.
people that come in that you think are Zoom bombers, before you admit them, you turn off their video. You turn the video off to the whole room. Otherwise, people will come in and start showing private parts. All right. Okay, moving in, that if you could just text everybody and ask for their information, you can work on that too, Sam, and we can post it up. Meanwhile, I thought what we would do today, everyone, is read from step one. We've had so many people come in who are on step one. So that's what we're going to do. And if you would put a link up for it, Sam, it's going to be page 21 and 12 steps and 12 traditions. Write it out, please. Say step one, page 21. All right. You can let all these people. Oh, what the hell is all this? I don't know about these people.
Yeah, one guy doesn't have a name.
Yeah, they're probably bombers. So you're gonna have to go to work on that, Matt. And Sam. Let me see. Excuse me, everybody. I apologize for this. So I'm gonna turn off chat. They can't chat. And if you have your camera on already. So, okay, these guys are all bombers. Olivia, you're a Zoom bomber. Spy. Who else? Are these people here? So just go ahead and remove them, Sam. Let's start reading. Who wants to read? We're going to read on step one. Raise your hand if you want to read, okay? Page 21 in the book. 12 steps, 12 traditions. Who wants to read? Okay, Ron, go ahead. Let you get started. Sorry about the interruption, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ron. I'm an alcoholic. Step one, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. Who cares to admit complete defeat? Practically no one, of course. Every natural instinct cries out against the idea of personal powerless. It is truly awful to admit that, glass in hand, we have warped our minds in such an obsession for destructive drinking that only an act of providence can remove us from it. No other kind of bankruptcy is like this one. Alcohol now become the rapturous creditor, bleeds us of all self-sufficiency and will to resist its demands. Once this stark fact is accepted, our bankruptcy as going human concerns is complete. But upon entering AA, we soon take quite another view of this absolute humiliation. We perceive that only through utter defeat are we able to take our first steps toward liberation and strength. Our admissions of personal powerlessness finally turn out to be the firm bedrock upon which happy and purposeful lives may be built. We know that little good can come to any alcoholic who joins AA unless he has first accepted his devastating weakness and all its consequences. Until he so humbles himself, his sobriety, if any, will be precarious. Of real happiness, he will find none at all. Proved beyond doubt by immense experience, this is the one fact of the AA life. The principle that we shall find no enduring strength until we first admit complete defeat is the main taproot from which our whole society has sprung and flowered. Thank you.
Go ahead, next person.
Naaman.
Naaman, grateful to be a recovering alcoholic. When first challenged to admit defeat, most of us revolted. We had approached AA expecting to be taught self-confidence. Then we had been told that so far as alcohol is concerned, self-confidence was no good whatever. In fact, it was a total liability. Our sponsors declared that we were the victims of a mental obsession so subtly powerful that no amount of human willpower could break it. There was, they said, no such thing as the personal conquest of this compulsion by the unaided will. Relentlessly deepening our dilemma, our sponsors pointed out our increasing sensitivity to alcohol, an allergy, they called it. The tyrant alcohol wielded a double-edged sword over us. First, we were smitten by an insane urge that condemned us to go on drinking, and then by an allergy of the body that ensured we would ultimately destroy ourselves in the process. Few indeed were those who, so assailed, had ever won through in single-handed combat. It was a statistical fact that alcoholics almost never recovered on their own resources. And this had been true, apparently, ever since man had first crushed grapes. In AA's pioneering time, none but the most desperate cases could swallow and digest this unpalpable truth. Even these last gaspers often had difficulty in realizing how hopeless they actually were. But a few did, and when these laid hold of AA principles with all the fervor with which the drowning sees life preservers, they almost invariably got well. That is why the first edition of the book Alcoholics Anonymous, published when our membership was small, dealt with low bottom cases only. Many less desperate alcoholics tried AA, but did not succeed because they could not make the admission of hopelessness pass. Thank you.
All right,
Right.
yep.
I'm Lori. I'm an alcoholic. It is a tremendous satisfaction to record that the following years this changed. Alcoholics who still had their health, their families, their jobs, and even 2 cars in the garage began to recognize their alcoholism. As this trend grew, they were joined by young people who were scarcely more than potential alcoholics. They were spared the last 10 or 15 years of literal hell the rest of us had gone through. Since step 1 requires an admission that our lives have become unmanageable, how could people such as these take this step? It was obviously necessary to raise the bottom the rest of us had hit to the point where it would hit them. By going back in our own drinking history, we could show that years before we realized that we were out of control, that our drinking even then was no mere habit, that it was indeed the beginning of a fatal progression. To the doubters, we could say, perhaps you're not an alcoholic after all. Why don't you try some more controlled drinking, bearing in mind, meanwhile, that we have told you about alcoholism. This attitude brought immediately and practical results. It was then discovered that when one alcoholic had planted in the mind of another the true nature of his malady, that person could never be the same again. Following every spree, he would say to himself, maybe those AAs were right. After a few such experiences, often years before the onset of extreme difficulties, he would return to us, convinced he had hit bottom as truly as any of us. John Barleycorn himself had become our best advocate. Pass.
Okay.
Hi, Rebecca Alcoholic. Why all this insistence that every AA must hit bottom first? The answer is that few people will sincerely try to practice the AA program unless they have hit bottom. For practicing AA's remaining 11 steps means the adoption of attitudes and actions that almost no alcoholic who is still drinking can dream of taking. Who wishes to be rigorously honest and tolerant? Who wants to confess his faults to another and make restitution for harm done? Who cares anything about a higher power, let alone meditation and prayer? Who wants to sacrifice time and energy in trying to carry AA's message to the next sufferer? No, the average alcoholic, self-centered in the extreme, doesn't care for this prospect, unless he has to do these things in order to stay alive himself. Under the lash of alcoholism, we are driven to AA, and there we discover the fatal nature of our situation. Then and only then do we become as open-minded to conviction and as willing to listen as the dying can be. We stand ready to do anything which will lift the merciless obsession from us. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Thank you. Perfect. So I have one question here. Who who here is having problems with step one or slipping? And I thought what we would do would be to open a breakout room, and then maybe we'll have Jeff and one other person go in the breakout room and go over step one with you. So who here is new, having a hard time getting sober and or staying sober? So Matthew, let's see, Matthew, you've got 2 days. How about you? You want to go into a breakout room with Jeff and talk about step one? He's got 39 years.
Sure.
Jess? Okay, good. So all right, so I'm gonna make Jeff a co-host, and then Sam, would you move Jeff in? And then let's move in whoever I just talked to. Jess, okay, you want to go into a breakout room? Good. You know how to do that, Sam? Shake your head, yes or no. Cooper, okay, Cooper. Let's see, Cooper, are you here for AA?
Yes, I'm here for AA. Yes, it's my first time here.
How long are you sober?
3 years.
3 years. So you don't need to go into a breakout room for step one, do you?
No, I'm all good.
I'm sorry, I just don't trust him. Okay, so we're gonna move in Efren, we're gonna move in Jess, you're gonna move in, are you able to do it okay, Sam? Talk to me. Say yes or no, please, I can't see you.
I was trying to change it. 1 second. Man, it just keeps going back to 1 minute.
All right, do you know how to move people into a breakout room? Matt, do you know how to do it? Do it.
What's that let me?
Those guys in, move Jeff in too. All right, who else needs to go into a breakout room? Nikki, England. Let's have you go in there too, okay? I'm gonna move you into a breakout room.
Okay.
Okay, with Jeff on step one. Okay, are we having a problem moving people in or what? No, we're not. Okay, you're doing it. All right. Who else? 2 days. Matthew, you've got 2 days. You want to go into a breakout room on step one? All right, let's David, 5 days. He wants to go in. Okay, do you see him? He just said thumbs up. Autumn. How about you? You want to go into a breakout room on step one with Jeff?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's see who else. Efren's gonna go in. We're gonna move Autumn in. The whole damn room's moving in there. Elizabeth, New Jersey, 5 days. You want to go into the step one breakout room? Say yes. And then Joe, Joe, I want you to go in and help. Joe, how about, will you go in and help, what's his name? Are you
Yes,
there, Joe?
yeah,
Okay, so I just made you a co-host. Put
Okay.
Joe in there too. Joe's gonna go in and help out. Cause you know how this meeting goes, so just go in there and help out. Try not
Will
to
do.
let the room, try not to let the first step room get completely out of control. They'll start throwing glasses at each other, hitting the bar. All right. Okay, so excellent, thank you. Matt, John. All right, so those guys are over there. And so let's do classroom work. Here we go. Hey, Daryl, you want to go in there too? Let's move Daryl in there, would you? Matt? Move
Yes, I
Daryl.
want to go into the breakout room.
Yeah, move Daryl into that first step breakout room too. 2 days with all those guys. Okay. Okay, so da, 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 da. Where is I have another idea. Let's move Rebecca in there. Rebecca, you can go in and help because you know how we do the steps here. clearer than anybody, so we'll send Rebecca in too. Hopefully that room would, sometimes those rooms get completely out of control on step one. They start screaming at each other. And then they leave and never come back. Fuck you. No, fuck you. We don't have anything like that going on in here, do we, Matt? No, okay. Let's start with Matt. So Matt, what are you working on? The room got small, didn't it?
Yeah, Mad Alcoholic working on steps 10 through 12. Read the daily reflection first thing in the morning when I come downstairs, my coffee, little meditation, read the morning prayer, try and get my to-do list for the day, top 5 things or 2 things I want to get done. And then also use the serenity prayer throughout the day, even if as things come up, sort of just
Give me an
let it
example
go.
of what came up today where you had to use the serenity prayer.
Now today, I mean, over the holidays, there was a lot more. I'm trying to think today was
Okay,
pretty.
pick one over the holidays that came up.
I'm trying to think. There was one today, and I
I bet
thought
there
about
was
it.
one. I bet somebody turned Taylor Swift on.
Well, yeah, that was actually, yeah, you could use that one because yes, we were in the car going to Massachusetts for 4 hours, and Taylor Swift was playing, and I did not make a comment. My daughter and wife were happy, and I just let it go. I said, you know what? Because normally I'd say turn it off. I'm driving. I picked the station, but no, just like my in-laws or my sister-in-law can be a little bit abrasive sometimes, so I just
Yeah.
try not to let her bother me and just say, can't change people. Like I say, can't direct the show, can't almost to what we were talking about before. It's all made up in your mind, like what people are doing, and it's in your head. So I'm just trying not to let it get in my head and um lets it bother me because it's a mental thing. It becomes like a mental thing almost.
Isn't that amazing? I don't have anybody that lives here with me. I don't have any, no kids live here, no wife. The only thing I have is this cat who can be annoying sometimes, and he's dead. He's stuffed. So it's like, could possibly be wrong with. Okay, let's go talk with Lisa. Hi, how are you? What are you working on? How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Um, I continue doing steps 10, 11, and 12, very similar to Matt, just kind of review my day or start the day with meditation and praying. And I'm glad I had a calm morning to myself because the rest of the day was total chaos. Um, but like I mentioned all the time, I read that resentment prayer so many times, and finally things dissipated and I started seeing things a lot differently.
What
So,
happens when your day goes to total chaos?
well, today I had to deal a lot with my son and his medical issues, but my ex and I were on the phone like every hour on the hour and things like that. So I
Why do you
kind of
have to get on the phone with your ex?
we're both guardians to my son and his
Yeah.
medical care. And there was an issue happening today, so we just had to join forces and put our heads together and come up with some kind of resolution between the two of us to make sure things are getting handled. And if I hadn't had gotten as far as I've come with the resentment prayer and learning to cope a little better and just take the bull by the horns, I think today would have been just disastrous. So, there's a lot to be said about me coming this far with the 12 steps and what I've worked on so far, and it made today go by a lot smoother. Put it that
Yeah,
way.
you have a way now how to process all of this.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
a way now to process through anything that comes up.
Right.
That's problematic.
And
Huh?
actually, yesterday's conversation about you saying, or was it yesterday or the day before, saying a lot of this is all our illusion. And, that helped too, because now I'm just like pushing that bubble away from me a little bit and stepping back and not really taking everything to heart that he could say or do.
Yeah, I know. It's really something. I get on this family meeting with one of my brothers and his kids every Sunday morning, and then his wife's brothers, and it's interesting. And my brother is sober also, and he goes to a men's group, so he started this family Zoom meeting, which he invited me to a couple of years ago. But it's interesting when we go on there, he'll sometimes bring up my sister or my other brother, and and I just I don't say anything, but I certainly do get it's called being reactivated. So I become slightly reactivated at the mention of my sister or other brother, because they just sort of, and then when my brothers start talking about our parents, childhood and all of that, and it all can go down a gigantic vortex. You're like, oh Christ. And which is not why I'm going to those Sunday meetings. I'm going to those Sunday meetings to be, supportive of my brother and his kids. They, they like me, so they're always interested in hearing stories or other things. So that part's good. But I think we're all subject to it, where we can have people start talking about times in the past or anything that we don't necessarily want to hear about, but we're going to hear about them. And then what do we do with that reactivation? Some people are in the present moment, like now, my ex-husband, my, what do we call it? Custody battle, my divorce, my DUI, my court case, my job, my drinking thing, my it becomes present, but things go into the past also, and they can pop right back up. So Joe in Boston, I sent you over, you emailed me something and I emailed you back, and I asked you, the part that puzzles me about you is that you went to your husband's for Christmas with your daughter. Everything worked out, but now you've decided somehow you're going crazy over your custody, and I don't understand that. How do you get along with the guy perfectly well and then decide you're going nuts over custody? I don't see that. I don't get it.
I am perfectly willing to share my answer here, but I can send you an email without wasting the
No, I
time
just
here.
want to know right now, what is up with that? You seem like you could, I mean, is that irrational thinking on your side?
He hit the custody on me 3 days before Christmas.
That's not what I'm asking you.
Okay.
You went to his house
on
Christmas Day. Everybody got along fine.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you having this? But you
Well,
go
just
there, and why are you
because
having like a nightmare? I don't get it.
I just found out about the custody thing over Christmas. I
Yes,
played
no.
nice. And
So what?
that doesn't mean I'm happy with what he wants for the custody change.
Oh my God. So do you get it? You see what's going on? You go to his house for Christmas. Everybody gets along. Right? And you're having a meltdown over this custody. I mean, how do you do that? How do you go there and get along and have a meltdown afterwards?
Oh, well, because other court stuff came in the mail after that, and I'm having trouble my problem right now is mainly with the court system, but I wish he had talked to me and we could have tried to make another arrangement instead of it involving.
Here's the thing. Of course, you have 48 days sober. You're trying to get sober and settle down. And I just think you want to look at that, because you're capable of getting along with him and with your daughter. Okay. So my battery's running low. How could that be? I see. Oh, maybe it's because this thing's unplugged. All right. Excuse me. Do you see what I'm getting at? Of course, you have 48 days sober, and your husband, while you were drinking, decided that he couldn't trust you, right? Which is classic.
The DUI he did. The drinking started before.
But you know what I'm saying here.
I know
that part's normal. Well, listen, what I'm getting at here is you have
People
an
can't read me very well. I do
listen,
get what
listen to me. Listen, you have an opportunity to get bigger than your circumstances
Mhm.
right now, right here in this meeting. Okay, on the step that you're on. You don't have to be a victim of the courts, of your husband, of anything, or of the custody. But you can get bigger than it. And this is kind of what we've been talking about. I mean, we're just talking about it with Lisa, and we're talking
Mhm.
about it with Matt. But
You're absolutely right. And honestly, I can understand his conflicts. Or his reservations. I have written down what I want in a sense that it will address anything I can think of that.
yeah, no, we're not talking about that.
No, but
Yeah,
I'm
wait,
saying,
now you listen to me. You think we're talking about your custody and court case. What we're really talking about is the sixth step. And you processing all of this stuff and your reactions to him. You have a chance here, you have an opportunity to work the steps on this and not be stuck in your little, in your battle, in your drama, in this so we get stuck in this story, we get stuck inside the scenario of what it is. And yesterday I asked you to work on the 10th step on this, and I know you're having a very hard time with it. I mean, I get it. I realize you're having a hard time working the steps on all of this, but it's possible for you to step aside. I like having the mute button because then I don't have to listen to people just go on blah blah blah. Because we think that our little custody battle and is interesting to everybody, but it's not. It's the thing that keeps us stuck, and you have a way to work your way out of this. I think if Matt and Lisa can work their way out, you can do it too by working on your by writing about it in step 10 and 11. And you notice I'm not really interested in your story or what you have to say because it's not you're not talking about how you're going to work the step on solving the problem. You want to talk about my custody battle with my husband and my court case. But this meeting, this group isn't about that. This group is about working the steps to the solution to what makes you insane, Ron. So what are you working on?
Yes, I'm working on 8 and 9. I've sent you another amends.
Oh yeah, I got to write you back on that. I saw it.
Oh,
I didn't get back to you yet on it, did I?
okay, well, you did the first one. I attempted to call him. He's not called me back. He's in Colorado actually watching his 3 grandkids off and on. So when he gets a chance, he'll call me. I'm sure at an inopportune time, but that's when I'll make the amends. And I sent you the second one. Start my day with my 2 morning meditation books and say a prayer before I begin the day and try not to ruminate on. Yesterday I had to work while I was working. I couldn't get out of work. So thanks for missing me though, Matt.
Apparently he did.
I did miss the meeting actually. I was not devastated by it, but
Yeah.
I could tell that what I hear here helps me. And I did use the serenity prayer. We're in the middle of that big snowstorm and individuals were calling left and right, and healthcare doesn't stop. I mean, you have to take care of people whether it snows or not, and a lot of people just didn't even attempt to get to work. So I had to stop and say the serenity prayer that I was powerless over
Yeah.
whether they called in or not. We had to make do with what we had to make do with and do the best job we could do and move forward.
Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Excellent job. So hey, Dominic, what was your assignment?
You had me read the doctor's opinion.
Okay, did you write down 5 takeaways on it?
I got 4 of them.
All right, what do you got?
So what I took away was the one that can't really start drinking without the phenomenon of craving, and I find that very true with myself. And then not being able to tell the difference between true and false.
I'm going to stop you for a minute. Hey, Matt, would you go into that first step meeting and put up in chat for them the first half of the first step and the second half of the first step?
I did earlier, Matt, if you want to.
Oh, you did. You already did. So it's up
Yeah,
in that group.
I can re-put it if you want.
In that group, in the breakaway.
Oh no,
Okay,
no,
well, no, yeah, that's no. It won't show up unless you put it in the breakaway. You want to go in. You want to go in the. You want to go in, Sam, into the breakout room, and put it up in there. Okay. So does everybody understand that? Now, what shows up here does not show up in the breakout room. If you're going to put something up in the breakout room, you got to do it. Okay, so Dominic, if you would read Bill's story for tomorrow, okay?
Yes, sir.
Don't call me sir.
Sorry about that.
What was give me one of the takeaways that you have for that.
That you can't start drinking without the phenomenon of craving. I find that very true in myself.
Oh boy, that's huge, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
People that land on the phenomena of craving, they're like, oh, son of a bitch. That's a horrible thing. Some of us don't have it right away. It kicks in like after a day or two or a week or a month. And before you know it, we're back doing it again every day. I couldn't get away from it. I'd be like, I'm good. I'm good. I just won't drink tomorrow. And tomorrow would come. And then like I'd make it to noon, then 2 o'clock, 4 in the afternoon, 5 o'clock, bam.
Yep.
Drinking. Okay. Anything else you came up with?
The not being able to tell the difference between true and false.
Yeah. Yeah, we're slightly delusional.
Yeah.
What else?
That if you put your faith and trust in the process of the book and the program, that it tends to work.
Say that again.
That if you put your faith and trust in the process of the book and program, that it tends to work.
Yeah.
And then the last one I got was that alcoholism is like an allergy.
Yeah, it's interesting that they put that in there. It is, but technically, it's not.
No.
But I guess they used it as a metaphor.
Yeah.
All right. So Bill's story for tomorrow.
Sounds good.
All right, cool, man. So Ryan, hey, so what was your last reading and writing assignment?
You gave me the assignment of reading Bill's story, so I'm still working through that. Haven't gotten all the way through it.
Did we get you started on the first step yet?
I've read the preface.
No, did we get you started on writing the first step?
That is the last time you drank all the way back.
Yes. Have you done that yet?
Yes, and we had talked about that.
So did you start writing?
Yes.
Oh, how many did you come up with?
Let's see. I think I got 5 completed. 4 or 5.
Keep going. Come up with 10 incidents.
10.
When it was, what I drank, who I was with, what happened, what the consequences were. And Dominic, I'm going to have you do that too. Sam's putting it up in chat right now to everybody here. It is
I put it up.
Oh, you put it up already? Okay, good.
Sam's
Thank you.
gone.
All right. Okay. So it's
No, I'm back.
first half of the first step is first half of the first step says we admitted we're powerless over alcohol. You start with the last time you drank, when it was, what you drank, who you were with, what happened, what the consequences were. And you work your way all the way back. to the first time you drank. When you do your writing, pray before you write. Ask God to guide your pen and show you what to write. Do not write for more than half an hour a day. Okay, so can you do that?
Yes, I got 5 and I'll get 5 more.
Dominic, can you start doing that too?
Yes, yes, I will.
Now, who wants to go into that big room, jump in there and interrupt and give these instructions to all the people that are there? Anybody feel brave?
I can go back if you'd like. I already put
Okay,
in the instructions, but did you want me to like walk them through it?
I want you to walk everybody through it. Just
Okay.
interrupt and take over. You could do that because you're an officer and a gentleman, aren't you? All
I'm used
right,
to it.
get in
All
there.
right.
Okay, way to go. Let's see. He's got courage. And who else is in here? Samantha, how you doing, kid? Samantha, have we gotten you started on the writing of the first step?
Not yet.
Well, how about we get you started today, right now?
Sounds good.
Do you see the instructions there?
Let's see. I do not.
We just took you through them.
Yeah, I heard the instructions, but I just didn't see them in chat. I see
Are
them
you
there
on?
now.
You do. Copy those and paste them. So I want you to start writing. The last time I drank, when it was, what I drank, who I was with, what happened, what the consequences were. Start with, work your way back to your first drink. Okay. And when you're writing, pray before you write, ask God to guide your pen. So you're going to start with the last time I drank, when it was, what I drank, okay, who I was with, what happened, and what the consequences were. So there don't have to be any consequences necessarily either. It could have been just I got drunk and I fell asleep. So I want you to come up with at least 10. Some people come up with a couple hundred.
Okay,
Can you do that?
I can do that. Yeah.
Do it. All right. So Ryan, same thing with you. Get going on this. Some people come up with 100 incidents. Is there any reason why you only came up with 5, Ryan? What's up with that?
Just because I pretty much hit the 30 minutes. So I just
Keep
yeah.
going.
Okay.
Get the hell going. Get it all down there. All right. The room got smaller and smaller. People started to leave. Well, this is an exciting meeting, huh?
Yeah, are we supposed to sing happy birthday to Naaman or what?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Where is he? Okay, so we have to unmute and we'll sing happy. Allow participants. Ask all to unmute. Okay, you can lead us. Go ahead, Matt.
Stacy's got the singing voice in the end.
Say it. Come on.
Happy
Unmute.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Naaman. Happy birthday to you.
Yay. Clap, clap,
Feliz
clap, clap.
cumpleaños a ti.
Thank you guys so much.
You're
I'm
welcome.
real excited.
Or he's a jolly good fellow. Oh, that's good. Excellente.
My dog just left the room when I was singing. Is that a sign?
That's a sign. You scared him. Well, let's see. What else do we have here? Naaman. Oh, you were going to talk about. Was that a cat I heard? Naaman, you were going to. So, what are you working on there, Naaman?
Yeah, I did my I had a book, but I hadn't started it. So yesterday you told me to start a prayer list. So I started that before I went to bed, and then I wrote.
Oh, good.
Came up with about 25 people on it.
Wow.
People I wanted to pray for, and then also some I was unhappy with and stuff like that. And then I'm doing the letters of amends still, and I'm kind of back to that same that habit where that avoidance thing, back to that kind of defect there.
Oh, wow. That's good. You see that? Yeah.
I'm a little scared to contact my dad and do that.
We all are.
And then I'm doing the step 10 personal inventory a little bit.
Excellent.
But that's what I've been doing.
Good. Okay, glad to hear that. So let me go over and ask Sam. Sam, so how did it go? Did everybody receive the instructions?
There, Jan, Sam, grateful alcoholic. Yes, they have. I walked them through the 5 instructions, and I had them all take out a piece of paper and pen and paper, etc., or use their phone or type it up. And that's
Are
what
they
they're
gonna
working
do
on
it?
right now. Yeah, they're working on it right now. And they're gonna continue it, pray, and then I think it was Rebecca, not Rebecca. No, it was Jeff who said that you will continue this throughout the night, and then they'll come back tomorrow, and they'll share.
All right. Excelente.
Wow.
I think is that Spanish for excellent?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I'm always getting it wrong. Who speaks Spanish in here? Anybody? Ron, you speak Spanish, don't you? You speak Spanish, Lisa? Are you and you speak
I
Spanish?
shouldn't admit to it, but a little bit, very little bit. That would have got, people would have understood what you were saying if you said that.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
They.
Excelente is proper.
Okay.
Yep.
Yay. I used to know how to curse a blue streak in Spanish, but not anymore. I don't do that. We don't do that in AA. All right. So did we get to everybody here? We have Lori. Lori, what are you working on? Hi, how are you? I guess I could turn your cameras on. Oh, why now? Oh, I turned them off. We had a whole slew of Zoom bombers come through, huh? You guys kicked them out, right? Jesus. If they got their cameras on, that would have been terrible. Or their microphones on. All right, so Lori, what's up? Did you fall asleep? Fall off the couch. I did turn your cameras on
There,
now, guys.
okay. I couldn't unmute. Lori, I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Today I read 84 through 88 this morning. I'm saying I am doing the 3rd step prayer and the daily reflections every day. And I also made a prayer list. And I made an amends with my son.
Oh, good for you. How did that go?
Very well.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent. That's what we want to see. How many people do you have on your prayer list?
12.
12. Okay. Well, good. And what do you just pray, go through each one and say, God, take care of this person, sort of thing?
Yeah, sometimes it's a little more detailed, but most it's all about them, not me.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Excellent. Okay, Stacy, what are you working on now? Do you have a prayer list too or not?
I do not officially. I do say some prayers every day for my family. Just in my meditation, my normal meditation.
Okay.
Yeah, so I meditate. I've been doing it 3 times a day. I read 84 through 88.
Wait a minute,
And
3 times a day?
yes,
What do you
sir.
do what do you do 3
Sorry.
times a day?
Meditate.
Oh.
Not for long, for 10 minutes each.